the scale of emotion, I had kind of strange ways of marking them. So if I felt almost nothing, which is a weird feeling, then I had just the plain grid. And then the second feeling was kind of like a nostalgia, like just this longing of nostalgia. So that was number 2. And then number 3 was that entertainment, you know, when I giggled. And then there was a flat block of color that was more entertainment, number 4, like if I laughed at something happening. And number 5 was this yellow mountain, which I just described as geelgevoel, because it's a feeling I got. I would look at a scene and I would feel like I'm lying in the sun in a hammock. I don't know. So that was that feeling, you know. And then the most intense feeling is like that blue one at the end is the last one left of that series that I own. And it was when I was confronted with baby Nicoline and we looked into each other's eyes through the screen. That feeling was one of the most intense feelings that I then felt. And that was number 10. So, and then there was like, this is my mother, feeling with my mother. So when I saw engagement with my mom and holding me, feeding me, is that my dad's feeling is that weird Payne's grey blue at the bottom, just this kind of cloud. So it was just those kind of, yeah.
How did you get back to the forest?
This forest is actually a grid that I repurposed. So it was just the first plain grid, so it wasn't a very interesting painting. It was something that I would say is maybe very academic because it made sense in the series, but I had to sell paintings, so I had to, so I thought, okay, that's one of the canvases that I can repurpose. So I painted over the grid, yeah. But that's where, so yes. Yeah.
I know that at McCabe's they're very keen on you translating feelings into something visual and something inside, and getting away from figurative stuff.
Yeah.
How do you do that without making it a rational process? Because the problem is that the rationality always stands between you and the. Do you find that? I mean, I always find that such a so that the work comes out to be so self-conscious if you don't eradicate that rational. I think the rationality.
Yeah, I think for me that's where the process and the method and the practice then came in, where I was like, okay, I'm going to make a study out of this and I'm going to treat it like a study. I'm not going to think of it as painting something, you know, and trying to render something, because how do you render emotion, you know? It's not really possible. So it was very subjective, this body of work, because I can interpret every painting, but it doesn't necessarily mean the same to people that look at it. And then not maybe representing something visual is in the academic field and in contemporary art very interesting and important, but I think for each artist to weigh how much of that they want to take and how much they want to stay with figurative stuff. I don't think one is better than the other. I think it depends on how long you work with the thing and the kind of emotional connection that you have to what you're creating, essentially. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. So then I'll tell